Welcome to Behind the Movie Farts, where we discuss the farts behind the scenes that we construct for you by sticking farts into movie scenes. We're going to deconstruct here and go through the making of our video that's not ready for prime time. It's one I started on Eat, Pray, Love. And I'd never seen Eat, Pray, Love before. I did not want to see Eat, Pray, Love.
I can't blame you.
And it just wasn't one of those things that was for me, but I was like, oh, this could be funny if I could stick a fart in here somewhere.
Okay.
And I went on to Netflix.
Yep.
And I was like fast forwarding through kind of like, 10 seconds ahead, 10 seconds ahead, 10 seconds ahead. And I hit one part where her best friend had a good look on her face. Where I was like, oh, that was an interesting look. And then I just kind of let the scene go from there. I stopped playing fast forward. And then the words that came out of Julia Roberts' mouth were, what did you have for lunch? And at that point...
And you knew that was...
At that point, I was like, somehow I have to make this work.
That was obviously a fart that actually happened, and they just edited out the fart.
These are the times when I just pray that they have enough footage for me to kind of let a scene kind of play out, at least when there's like a weird look on their face, that they don't cut so fast. Yep. And what I've noticed a lot since doing this is that whereas in a movie I would probably forgive a lot of the cuts, and here I'm like, these cuts are happening really fast and they always feel disjointed to me. But I don't know if it's that is because I'm doing my best to cut it and I can see the error maybe in my way.
Right. Makes sense.
So I have not watched this movie in full. I get the gist of what is really going to happen. And the scene that I'm trying to cut is her telling her friend that she wants to go to Italy. And then, like, her whole plan of, like, going to India.
Why she's going to go. And, she's having the girl chat with her friend, letting it all out.
Yeah, and what I didn't know about this movie is that James Franco is in it. Did you know that?
Well, you know what? The only reason I knew it is because when you first said Eat, Pray, Love, I tried to bring it up so that I could just, have it waiting, and I saw his face somewhere. So I was like, oh, James Franco. But I
James Franco's in it. I was kind of shocked. Billy Crudup is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan, but he's, from what I can tell, he's barely in it. He's just at the beginning. Javier Bardem shows his face eventually as her, I guess, maybe romantic interest later on in the movie. But
okay, yep.
I think this movie is really all about trying to be a single person in the world and not getting into a relationship because that's what she used to. But really, that's not our purpose here because we're all about the farts. And I am now going to share my screen with you and for everyone else who is watching and show you the rough cut that I've been using. I want your feedback on maybe what I should cut. This was once about 1 minute and 4 seconds long. I've gotten so annoyed with myself. I'm down to like 39 seconds or something like that. I don't know if I might have to be shorter. Some things might have to be taken out. I don't know if all the fart sounds that I've been making are
adequate for the situation.
Are perfect. I've been using a fart that's been more like. I'll try and do it right here for you. More like. No, sorry, that's bad.
Are you going for like that, like little?
I'm doing a really bad job because I'm on the spot, but it's more of that kind of noise, but like. I'm on the spot and I can't do it with all this pressure and people watching.
It's the way it goes. It's like we said, you can do a perfect impression when you're just winging it.
This is what we
try to think about how to do it. It's like you're crossing accents and angles and
it's like when you're golfing and you try and tee off the first tee without practicing first. You're gonna top the ball, and I just didn't just top the ball there. I mean,
if I even hit it.
That was a complete whiff right there.
Yeah.
So you'll hear my fart sounds that I've been making, and I'm going to just share the screen right now so you can.
Okay.
I'll stop and start here if you have ideas or thoughts. Do you want to run through it first, and then we'll go back?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay,
I'm down for that.
Let's share the screen. This is our first time sharing the screen. We'll see what works here.
Test it out. See how it goes.
I'm going to share the desktop with us on it. And Cameron, on 3, are you ready to press play?
Let's do it.
Okay, on 1. Actually, I'm not ready. Where am I? Okay, on 1, 2, 3, go.
You know what I felt when I woke up this morning, Delia? Nothing. No passion, no spark, no faith, no heat, absolutely nothing. And I think I've really gotten past the point where I can be calling this a bad moment.
Great look.
What did you have for lunch today?
Salad.
I used to have this appetite for food, gelato, spaghetti.
Do you need a Xanax?
You know what? And I'll say this: it was good, and it was good not going with the fart at the end, because she was relaxed.
Okay.
She was done.
Okay.
She was spent. She was spent. You know, it wasn't. Because I know you were debating the final.
Let me tell you, I couldn't tell you what last night at I don't know what time it was.
Yeah.
I was debating that fart. I had a fart in there at that point.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know. Yeah, nope. And I was like, do you know what? Leave it alone.
Yep. Yeah. It was better. I mean, just for the first time view scenario, it was better without. In my opinion, it worked. Like I was like, because I was almost expecting it, but I felt like it was better the way she acted. Just
Without it.
Yeah, without it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, they say actors have choices, but fart editors do as well.
Oh,
and
extremely so.
You know, part of this video I felt was to not overdo the fart. So let's kind of just go back here. Yep. What parts are disjointed to you?
Let's see here.
Like, is it disjointed to you? Because I've watched it a million times.
Well,
so
I'll tell you why it's not. You can't be just disjointed in this scenario, because this is just like you're just sitting there talking with someone. This is a very close, intimate setting, and it's not necessarily because there really is no major context. All you know is that they're in this sort of intimate conversation about whatever that conversation is, and it's obviously about farts and what they ate and what's causing them.
But as far as some of the clips maybe being too short and moving into the next clip, do some things move too fast, or does it all actually make sense to you?
No, I think the face expressions. Well, okay, it doesn't make sense in a bang, bang, bang literary plot progression mode. but
wait 1 second. We're big on plot here, though.
Yes. Oh, I know. This is, we don't forget about Mr. McKee or that story guy,
Robert McKee.
Robert McKee,
So, if we go back to, where is it here? Like that, I was thinking of maybe cutting the scene way before the Xanax line.
Yeah.
That maybe it should just be a shorter scene, and ends at like the what did you have for lunch, type thing.
To me, it's just good because what it is it's one of those situations where, appropriately, they've got the nice. There's a subtle lingering with facial expression. Do you know what I mean? Where it's not necessarily being said in words. It's kind of like their minds are spinning. What am I smelling?
Okay, so let's just, we talked before we started watching this video about how I heard her say those words, and at that moment, it's gold. Yeah. But at first, it was this actress's, I don't know who her best friend is here. I don't know the actor who plays her best friend. But the looks on her faces, were gold.
They're gold. Exactly. They work very poignantly in that scenario.
There were a couple, like I have other options. I don't know if it will work because there's one option that I don't have in this cut is her kind of having her arms, but she says something right away because then she starts laughing. I was like, I don't know. I might only have like literally a 0.8 seconds of an ability to put a clip in there.
Right.
Have you noticed that there are 2 scenes in here that I did slow down in slow motion so I could actually extend the clip a little longer?
I couldn't. Well, see, that's the thing is that I couldn't. I wouldn't have told you what you did, but I knew something was done. Does that make sense? Like I wasn't paying enough attention to see how you affected the time, but I knew that there was a. I saw. I knew. I got the trickery aspect. There was something. The radar went off that I knew something was up. That's all I can tell you.
There were 2 scenes that I'm like, I need to extend this clip by at least 0.5 seconds.
Yep.
Just because it will be way too fast of a cut and feel way too disjointed.
Makes sense.
So that was when Julia Roberts, first she looks like after the long fart, like the long one, which
Long
is
one.
a great one because she's sitting at the desk like this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And just being like, and she actually talks during that scene. I cut out the audio and I did the.
That's the one where I heard the grunt. Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
that was.
And I know that's like that's a progression because grunts. It's you got to figure out it's they're not all grunters.
Yeah. So the scene right after she goes like this and she looks at her and goes, and then goes like that. I slow mode that turn.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Because I'm like, she's doing the turn, but because I did it that way because if it was a quick turn, it's a quick turn. But if it's a slow-mo turn, it goes with it, in my opinion, because it's just dramatic of how bad the fart smells.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant about those the facial reactions. They were able to make. They worked well with whatever timing you used to just sort of fit to make it feel like they were contemplating.
Yes.
What they were. It works with the given scenario.
And then in the following scene, when it goes back to her friend, it was too quick of a scene of her sitting there, but she was kind of sitting still but kind of moving. So I'm like, oh, she's kind of sitting still but kind of moving. But it's like very, very subtle, very slow. So I can slow-mo this down and extend the scene because she really was just sitting there anyway. It's not like I'm slow-moing her and she's going to be moving slowly like that. Her movement was very like small. So I'm like, I can slow-mo that one and just extend it to look like she still is fidgeting, but it's slower and I can put in another like pop, pop fart.
Basically, it just allowed you to space those 2 sections as opposed to
yes.
Yeah, and I feel like overloaded and just one after the next.
It just would have been boom, boom, and I needed to extend itself. So are there any farts in there where you think I should do a different sounding fart?
Good question. Let's give it another listen.
You give it another listen and you tell me because I won't be able to give you an explanation.
That's true. It's fair.
Or no, that's a poor choice of words. And yeah, I've already listened to it. My opinion right now doesn't matter.
I know what you mean.
So I'll be quiet while you watch.
Okay. Yeah, I could see the whole hair flip. Overall, not bad. The grunt could be considered a little over,
over the top. So the first grunt or the second grunt? I have 2 grunts in there.
I think it's the first one. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, let me know. Do you want me to lower the grunt or do you want me to remove the grunt?
The first grunt, I think, is too.
You want me to remove the first grunt?
Take it out. See how it sounds.
Okay. Well, I can. I'll do it after.
Later. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
suggestion. Just you know, like,
And then as far as but the second grunt is okay.
I think the second grunt is the right transparency. Does that make sense? You know, like it works with the.
Okay. And then after that, is there a fart sound? Like I tried to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth fart sound. I tried to have a different pop on it. And that's a quick one. Which one? It's one of the second. It's the second last fart.
The second last one. Okay.
Sorry, it's actually the last fart.
Okay.
That's a different. I tried to do a different like pop, more of a pop, like a quick. It's when she's talking about the different
Yep.
types of food.
Yep. I like that one actually.
You like that fart?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's like
So
it was. I understood.
you said
You know.
I wanted that one to be like just quick and like
Yeah.
she had one little tiny bit more. It wasn't a long one. It was just
Yeah.
like, and I think the look on her face after that, because the clip that I put after was like I wanted her to be like, really? Are you done yet? Type of look.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like that. It's like that one put her over the edge, and that's why I was. To me, the look after that, her then saying, "Did you want do you need a Xanax?"
Yes.
Maybe
Exactly.
maybe her farts put her over the edge, and that last one did it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, but the other fart sounds, are those ones okay, or would you change up a fart sound there? Experiment.
I found that I really personally found that those middle ones or whatever for what they worked well in the spots they were in.
Yes.
The first one was the one that stuck out with the grunt. That was the one that to me,
it's actually two separate sounds.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's
No,
like,
I layered it. So
yeah, no, I believe it. Yeah,
no, like I have the fart as its own thing.
Yep.
And then underneath, I have it layered with a completely different a different sound because I'm just doing like I'm creating files of grunts.
Yeah. Okay. So then, if that's what I mean. That's perfect because that's what I mean. Is that if you,
you should see what that one's labeled. That one's labeled like I think it's labeled 5 second. Gotta take a shit. Grunt real
the
bad.
best thing about those are the explanations.
I originally did have words being said in some spots, which I removed. Like,
yep.
And I realized my voice doesn't match this woman's voice of me going like.
Well, yeah, there's that aspect of it, but I
didn't want to overdo it at the same time of me going, oh God, oh God, oh
yeah.
God.
There's times that'll work with the right scenario.
With the right scenario, but this wasn't it.
That's exactly
so you feel that all I just remove the first part and the rest of it in your mind pretty good to go?
Pretty good to go. I think that there's nothing that stood out immediately to me saying that one should have been different. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
Like even with with previous ones, there's been the odd time when it seems something seems off or whatever. But I thought that was right. I would have said it about the end is what I would have said, because in hindsight, like I said, it was one of those ones that somehow I just knew that if I was making it, I would have been doing the same debate. So. Yeah, I know I would have.
So I don't remember what the scenes were that were in here before because this was probably it was 8 seconds longer at one point.
Yep.
Like the last cut that I was really deciding on. And I did remove that stuff. And I think I mostly removed it to get just the scene cooking and like that 8 seconds wasn't needed.
Yep.
And I was just like, am I telling the same story without that 8 seconds? Is that 8 seconds needed, or does that just get in the way? And I felt that where there was a long enough, like, to not overdo the fart, remove the 8 seconds. That 8 seconds might have overdone stuff.
Makes sense. And that last section after the last fart is long enough that it can just kind of play it. It plays itself out. You know what I mean?
It's the art of the fart, baby.
The art of the fart.
So, as far as this, is this funny?
Yeah, I liked it. Personally, if you compare it to the other, I'm just using the general internet. You know what I'm saying? This is internet worthy.
All right.
Internet-worthy. Stamp of
Okay.
approval.
Well, thank you. And thank you everyone for watching Behind the Farts. Eat, Pray, Love. I worked really hard on this video, and the biggest part of working hard is pulling back and knowing when not to put in a fart. That's our big lesson of the day. So thank you, Cam, for showing up this week for Behind the Farts.
Anytime.
And thank you, everyone, for showing up and watching our Behind the Farts video. And I hope you enjoyed the original video and you enjoyed this video as well. So I just, have a great night. And I was going to say, that's just a bad joke. Anyway.
May God have mercy on your souls.
Oh, I was going to say that may the fart be with you. That's just lame.
I don't know.
Anyway. Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.